Hi everyone, it's Sarah from the Support Worker. So I haven't done this for a while. I haven't done a solo podcast for a while, so I thought, why not? I've got some content, I've got some ideas, and I want to share it with you today. So today, the topic that I would love to talk to you all about is things I wish NDIS businesses understood about support workers. Yep, I'm going to go there. I'm going to talk about it. It's going to be like a no fluff episode, and it's about talking about the gaps, like the in-betweens, management support workers, and how we all fit in. So if you don't know me, yes, I am Sarah. I have been in the NDIS sector, I should say the disability sector, for more than 17 years. I know it's really hard to say that because I feel like a dinosaur, but I don't feel like a dinosaur. Anywho, so let's talk about it. So welcome back. Here I am today, and I'm going to have let's just have this real chat, right? In this episode, things that I wish that NDIS businesses knew about support workers and how to provide really good care to us. All right, support workers. You're not just a support worker. I have heard it so many times when you're trying to introduce your job. I'm just a support worker. No, babe, you are more than just a support worker. And we're going to go into that because support workers, we are mentors, we are role models, we are safety nets. Sometimes we are the teachers, the guides. We are so many things that I can't even explain to you. We are listeners. And at times, we are somebody's absolute world. Yes, we're all rolled into one, and it depends who we're serving at that time, how you have to turn up. So we are consistently turning up in people's homes, in their community. We are there. We are present. So with us being present, we need to feel respected. We need to be acknowledged, and it would be good to feel respected. And if you really like, and if you're a business owner listening to this right now, if you really want to engage your team, treating your support workers well, treating and respecting their profession and asking, like, have you noticed, have you seen? It does wonders because it's an element of respect because they are being professional. They are turning up professionally, and for you to give them that, 100%. All right. The gap between office and frontline, there is like this massive gap, and I have sat in both between two. And I can tell you right now, the gap is huge. And the more time you spend in the office, the less you understand of support work. Yes, I went there. I went there. I know that's going to hit a couple of nerves because the further away you are, the least you see, the least you understand, and your expectations are completely different. So, I've worked in offices. I will be the first to say that. And I've worked with the people that we serve in community, in group homes, in facilities. Yeah, I went group homes. So I'm a dinosaur, yeah. We still, Sarah. We moved on from there. So let me tell you, the gap can be huge, and sometimes the decisions are made without people's best interests. And it could be across the board when decisions are made, whether it is the best interest of a person we serve or a support worker. So if you want to get really good results, ask your support workers what is working and what not is working. And if you're really upfront and honest and you talk about it in a team perspective, the feedback that you get will probably surprise you, especially if you're working in an office, because you might not see that there's little attention to details that creates somebody's day. And support workers, they see that. They see it, and their job practically as a support worker, when you think about it, is to see a problem before it becomes a problem. Yeah. They are problem solvers because they want to make sure that when they are providing support to somebody that their day runs accordingly. It's smooth. They want a smooth day. They don't want a terrible day. Nobody wants to come to work and have a terrible day. Yeah, same thing. We want to make sure that we have systems in place so people have really good days. And training. And to be honest with you, training can't just be that once off, in a blue moon type of stuff. As leaders of our organizations in our sector, training is ongoing. Training is something that we promote. Training is something that we want to see. If somebody wants to go out and do their own training and come back, kudos to you. Bring it back. But wherever possible, training. And we can't just do this one-stop shop, training that it's done. It's not always online training as well. Things can change, and people also, we need refreshers because I will be the first to tell you right now that somebody that has been, I've been around in this sector, and I can tell you that there has been so many big changes in our sector in short periods of time. So, most importantly, people want to feel like they can see that they grow because at the end of the day, most people really do want to learn. So, giving them that opportunity and experience to be able to learn, they want that. and they want to upgrade their skills and they want to be professional for the people that we serve and you as your organization. 110%. Ongoing training also shows that you value them as a team player in your team and then you respect them. If you're an independent and you're watching this, you're like, Sarah, how do I do this? Trust me, training comes in all forms. It's not what you think. And the training that you get doesn't always have to be NDIS related. It could be business related. It could be accounting related. It could be social media related. Your training, you modify your training to what best suits you as an independent support worker, whether it is something that is a part of your business or something that how you show up. That is on you, and the best part of it is that you get to dictate that. Yeah, you do. How cool is that? All right. Okay. Sometimes as support workers, the emotional load is really heavy, and you would be surprised how many times when an incident occurred or something happens where a support worker felt it, and they felt it really hard. If you're in the front line, it doesn't, like, to be honest with you, a 2-minute conversation can go a long way. And that is picking up the phone and saying, hey, I heard, I saw, I read, are you okay? Yeah, just reaching out, asking another person, are you okay? Do you want to talk about it more? And if you're not it for that person, refer to the right stream so they can get support. Because you caring and you giving two shits really goes a long way. And communication is everything. And staff want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to feel a part of a team. And the fact that you can acknowledge that, some days are tougher than others, excellent. Do that. Say it out loud, because I can tell you that 2-minute conversation that you're going to have with a support worker pays dividends, because it's about also retaining them. Because they're part of a culture that actually cares about them. They're just not another number. My God, this is bringing back so many memories. It really is. All right, story time. I had a support worker that I had hired and joined the company and was a part of it. And they had their very first shift with a participant. And I read through afterwards, like the progression notes, how they went, because I'm so curious, I'm nosy, because I know that having that people that are really good matches goes a long way. And, that's retaining the NDIS participants, retaining the support worker at the same time. So I'll always follow up. And I want to hear both sides. Like, I want to hear how the person that we serve, how they felt with somebody coming into their home, a new stranger, did they click, did they not click? I wanted to know everything. But I also wanted to know it from the support worker side as well, because I wanted to make sure that I was that middle ground to make sure that everything was flowing possibly as perfect as possible. So this lady who staff member that I got, and I called up. I wanted to follow up because I wanted to make sure that they felt comfortable, because I knew the history. Like, I sat the interview and I knew the history of the person, and I knew that they were a solid person that I wanted in my team, and I wanted them around. So I gave a phone call. I was like, how's your first, how was the first time that you're supporting this person going, and how did you feel? What did you notice? And after that conversation, like after the part of the conversation of asking all these questions, that person then asked, goes, this is the first time anyone has acknowledged my work. And I was like, what? What do you mean this is how? Why? Like, for me, I was so stunned and I couldn't understand it, because I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense, because you're providing care to some of the most vulnerable people. And I'm the first person that's ever asked you how it went. That says a lot. Yep. And this person is a seasoned support worker, had been a part of certain organisations in the past, and when you're in the sector, you're in the sector people. So yeah, it says a lot when you communicate, and I think it has to be very clear with that. But some days are really crap and we need to reach out. We need to have those conversations. I totally went off track, I'll be honest with you. This is not exactly where I thought I was going, but anywho, let's get into communication, because it really is everything. And like I said before, following up, seeing it through, having conversations, and I'm not just saying emails, because emails get you so far. Phone conversations, in person, it pays. Like, it really does, because people buy off people. People want to trust you, and they want to make sure that the people that we send and we are providing care to feel trusted when somebody's in their house. And if you're an independent right now, I feel open communication, consistent communication is important. It took me out. It took me out because I went to this networking event probably last year, and I was having a chat to a lady that opened up her business. She had 6 participants that she provides care for, that she had support workers, but she felt like she stagnated, like she was never able to grow. And I said, all right, well, anytime that you're unable to grow, it's got to go down to the services that, what we have. Like, how are you retaining people? What are you doing? Like, how are you making sure that their quality is still there? So when you last had that conversation, and this person's like, what? What do you mean that last conversation? Well, it's like, when you checked in. I was shocked. Like, what do you mean checked in? I was like, no, you've got to be consistent. You've got to check in with the people that we serve. You've got to check in with your support workers. You've got to ask those questions, what's going on. You've got to know what is happening, what you need to change, whether you need to change supports around, whether the support worker and the person are a good click or not, because you're either one or the other. You're not in between. You're either good or you're bad for it. And we want to make sure that, you've got all the good people at play, because that's how you retain people. And this person was a bit gobsmacked. They're like, oh, no, I haven't been checked in. And I was like, what do you mean? Well, I had lined everything up and I just, but turn up. And I was like, well, you need to go that a little extra bit further with communication. You need to make sure that, communication is key. So it means that, you're consistently finding out what's going on. I must admit, like, I was shocked. I was like, so if you're not communicating with your support workers, how do you know about the family trip that they're going to go on, and then you know that you got leave coming up? How do you know that that person's working purely because they really want to get their first home? That support worker there is an OT or a speechy. How do you know? Like, they're studying to get there. You're not knowing anything about the people in your team or the people you serve because you haven't followed up and you haven't asked any questions and you haven't been curious about another person's life. So really, maybe this part of the conversation that we're having right now should be that curiosity is fantastic, because it's from curiosity that we find out information, able to have these human conversations and make it really easy, because we want communication so easy that people feel comfortable enough to give you a call and say, hey, Sarah, this ain't working. That's where we want to be, because we know that if hey, Sarah, this isn't working status, where we want to be, we will have less incidents, we'll have less happening, and we retain the people that we got. So with our communication, we have to be clear. We actually need to know who we're communicating with and their communication style. Some of the people that we serve, their communication style is in person, it is over the phone, it is a text message. You need to find that out, because once you find that out, their communication style, the way you communicate with that person meets. As for support workers, you might have to be that you see them in person. It might be them too, the phone call, the emails. You need to see what is going to get there. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right. So also we need to talk about flexibility, right? Because flexibility matters, and we know that in our sector, shifts, they change. Like the people that we serve, they change the hours, they change the time, and you need to be able to make sure that we can be that flexible, and we have an opportunity to be flexible, and we have that balance as well, because we don't want to burn out our support workers yet. We want them to have enough balance that they are having a really good time, and that they will do the extra as well. Because remember how we talked about communication, knowing things? Yeah. Once it gets to the communication and knowing things, flexibility comes easy, and then when you need to ask for more, it comes easier, because they know that they trust you as a support worker, that you know what, yep, this is a one-off, I'm helping out the team, let's do it. Yeah. So support workers, when it comes to us, we do need that at times. We're studying, we're parents, we have multiple jobs. It is actually quite common for support workers to have multiple jobs, like one or two, just to make sure they can maintain to have a full-time income, because we know that shifts come and go like seasons. So if you can have flexibility, have shifts, have hours, communication, and the aim of this for our support workers really is that we want to build loyalty in our team. We want to make sure that we have loyal members of our team, because loyal members go further and they do more for the people that we serve, and happy support workers deliver better services. And all right, so we need to also put in here, like I should have said this a little bit earlier, but don't forget the small things. Yep. Don't forget the birthdays. Don't forget the support worker has been with you for 5 or 10 years. They completed their first month. Don't forget that the support worker may have finished their uni degree. They're a speechy. They're a teacher. They're AOT. Kudos to them, because at the end of the day, our job is to make sure that if they are studying and they decide to move on from you, the skills that they're learning as a support worker, they will bring with them for life. And it doesn't matter whatever capacity that you're in. Support workers teach life skills, how to communicate, how to engage with people, how to do activities of engagement, how to de-escalate a situation. We're so highly skilled and we forget all these things that we can do. Like, yeah, we're so talented and we forget about it because we put it to the side because, someone just said you're a support worker. Just a support worker. We're much more than that, let's be honest. Sorry. Yeah, it's true. All right, so let's just wrap this up because I can waffle all day about support workers because this is my love, my passion, and I love serving to you guys. I do, because it's a topic that we don't always talk about, and it's really important because I believe that really well kept and well respected, well loved support workers go further. So, support workers, we are the backbone of the NDIS, let's be clear. We see all the things that other people don't see, and we care. We provide really good quality care for the people that we serve, and the way that we care, it looks different to every person that we serve, and that's why we're so flexible. And that's why we've got these amazing life skills that other people don't have because we are support workers first and foremost. So if you're a business owner and you're watching this podcast, me, Sarah, doing it solo tonight, this is your reminder to take a minute, take some time to remember that reflect on your team, ask them how they're going, ask them more questions, get nosy, get curious, find out what's going on because you don't want to be stale. Let's be honest, we don't want you to be stale because we know that if you're stale, you're missing the point and you forget the purpose. And the purpose is to provide really good quality care for the people that we serve. And if you're a support worker listening to this, I see you. Yes, I see you. You matter. I absolutely adore you. Thank you for the work that you do. We don't talk about it. Thank you for going above and beyond and providing really good quality care for the people that we serve. Keep up the good work. Do the right thing by people. And enjoy the ride, enjoy this chapter of life that you become a support worker in. And then I hope you thrive and I hope you get to enjoy all these things that other people take for granted. So thank you for hanging out with me for my solo. I haven't done a solo podcast for a while, but thank you everyone. And until next episode, we'll have some more guests coming up. Bye for now, Sarah.